There's a pantheon out there of insane vehicles, and they can be insane for a whole lot of reasons. I mean, you could look at one end, a vehicle like the Amphicar is insane because it's a boat and a car. There's something cool about that. That's fun. You can have insane cars like the BAC Mono, you know, single-seater track weapons that are street legal, the Ariel Atom, stuff like that. But then you have this. This is a full-size SUV. It's a full-size Cadillac Escalade that has 682 horsepower. Jesus. This is a bonkers machine. And I drove it a while ago when it first launched out in the Arizona desert, which is a proper place for a vehicle like this. Long stretches of road that you want to shrink how long it takes to drive them. This is a highway hauler all-star. It is excessive. It is excessively excessive, if that makes any sense at all, which I know it doesn't. But you get what I'm saying at, because this is one of the craziest Cadillac vehicles ever made. It is very nice inside. It feels like a proper luxury vehicle in here. The seat material is excellent. The AKG many speakered sound system sounds wonderful. The screens in front of you look really coolly laid out, how they're kind of nested on top of each other. Though I will say that the integration of the CarPlay display looks a little goofy because they have to shrink it just because of the shape of the screen. That aside, everything is crisp and looks good, and the buttons for the climate control right here work well. You get your big shift lever here. Right here in the center console, there's actually a cold storage box. The seat feels excellent. Visibility is surprisingly good for a gargantuan mammoth machine like this. But the party trick, the insanity of it all, lives under the hood. That is a supercharged 6.2 liter V8. It is basically the same engine as you get in the CT5V Blackwing. It's hand built. This one, however, gets a larger supercharger on top. So the result is 682 horsepower and north of 650 pound-feet of torque through a 10-speed automatic gearbox, all-wheel drive, and more noise than any Corvette south of the current Z06. And it sounds like it's so far away from you because the exhaust exits way back there. But it's still useful because it is a full-size SUV. I folded the second and third row down this morning and put my mountain bike. It fits back there. If you're cold, they're cold, so bring them in. So I had it inside the vehicle, and I've been shuttling my child around. She loves the fact that there's TVs, and since this is a GM product, it has onboard Wi-Fi, so she immediately figured out how to watch YouTube on it. And she has the headphones on, and which is kind of great, because then I don't have to listen to the songs that ruin my Spotify playlist and my Spotify Wrapped every year, her music. I can listen to what I want to listen to, she can watch what she wants to watch and listen to, and really what we're doing is we're forcing everyone else to listen to the soundtrack of insanity. Oh my God, do you hear that shift? Oh, Jesus. I mean, it's like they scaled up a Corvette. It's almost like when Tom Cruise was in Tropic Thunder and he just put on the fat suit to play that guy, but he's still Tom Cruise underneath, you know, very capable actor and person who does his own stunts. That's the Escalade-V. The V stands for very insane, very fun, but also very expensive. This car starts at $151,000, which when you think an Escalade for $150, that's bananas, and you're right. But when you think a full-size luxury SUV that has 682 horsepower, is wonderful inside. The air ride suspension feels fantastic out here and does an amazing job of keeping the dynamic motions of this in check so that it's not like rolling around, you know. It handles better than it has. I'm not calling it a sports car, let's be real here, but you expect this thing to just be a wallowing, you know, wet noodle on the road, and it isn't. It is a tight package that does its job wonderfully. Still, yes, the price is bonkers, but if if you're comparing it to the likes of like a full-size AMG product, a full-size BMW product, you know, but none of them are as big as this. The GLS, I guess, is in the same class, but this still feels bigger. This has just insane power. It also stops really well. The front brakes are 6-piston Brembos, and you need them because this thing is like 6,300 pounds. So it's a machine that defies sense and sensibility. No one needs this vehicle, but if you own one, you're having a blast. And if you live somewhere in like Texas, you're commuting between like Austin and Houston, or you're just on those freeways, you're outside of Dallas on those highways where it's 70+ mile/per-hour speed limits and it's straight and it's forever, and you have a 2-hour commute because you live in Texas and you have money, I mean, it doesn't really get better than this in terms of just the ride comfort, the power on tap, and just then the noise. If you want it to be noisy, you can make it quiet. There is no quiet for the cold start, and the cold start is insane. So you can't quiet that down. But out on the road, there is a touring mode which quiets it down. But I have it in V mode. You press the button and it gurgles and pops and does the rapid fire machine gun shifts and all the insanity of that stuff. It's just, every aspect of this vehicle is wild. And for years, as many Escalades as I've tested over the years, and I've tested a handful of them now, I've always considered it a guilty pleasure vehicle because it's not a machine I should like. This isn't the type of vehicle for me, and every time I drive it, I really enjoy my time with the vehicle. And with the V, it's the best Escalade ever, and it's one of the greatest mad Cadillacs of all time because you can do stuff like this. Car's the best. I think this is the first video I've done with Sloan in the back seat where she's not reacting to anything I'm doing because she's literally watching YouTube. So